I don't know if I should be saying this on the internet, but as someone who lives in DC, people in DC do not really care that Trump deployed the National Guard. Most people are quiet or like, or are literally like, thank God. The only people I've seen outraged are people from other states. People in DC, quiet. I worked in a local election a few months ago. Mind you, this is the place that voted 90% for Kamala. And by far, the biggest issue for people was crime. People didn't care about anything else. People were going ham. I went to so many forums and people were like, what are you gonna do about these bad kids? Lock them up and throw away the key. My personal favorite was...
There was an attack with a Subway sandwich last night in DC. And it was a white guy, we're now told, who worked at the Department of Justice until this morning when he was fired by Pam Bondi, per Pam Bondi. She's told us that piece of it. But we saw this tape go viral on X with this guy behaving like a complete ass in the face of the federal law enforcement officers who are standing there minding their own business, just keeping an eye on things to make sure things are safe. For the listening audience, we're going to play it. You see the man jumping up, like just jumping, like he's on a pogo stick in front of these cops. And then out of nowhere, he takes his...
Yes. Do you know what is funny? Libras don't like this idea at all. Watching Hillary Clinton blow up on social media about this whole thing, you would think Trump has committed a crime in struggling to clean up a city. When you take a look at Hillary Clinton here, as you listen to an unhinged Trump try to justify deploying National Guard in DC, yes, reality. Violent crime in DC is at a 30-year low. But people in that areas are now celebrating like, oh, see me, I'm on the street, nothing can happen to me, just within the space. So one day Trump took this decision, people are extremely happy. Then people like this will sit and tell us like Trump is unhinged to do this. I don't know why these people always behave this way. Yeah. Things will go wrong for the president to do the right job, they will still complain. What exactly can Trump actually do that these people will appreciate one day? I really want to know. It's insane, right?
I don't know if I should be saying this on the internet, but as someone who lives in DC, people in DC do not really care that Trump deployed the National Guard. Most people are quiet or like, or are literally like, thank God. The only people I've seen outraged are people from other states. People in DC, quiet. I worked in a local election a few months ago. Mind you, this is the place that voted 90% for Kamala. And by far, the biggest issue for people was crime. People didn't care about anything else. People were going ham. I went to so many forums and people were like, what are you gonna do about these badass kids? Lock them up and throw away the key. My personal favorite was if they want to play with guns. A lot of you probably are sitting there thinking a few different things. Number one, you're probably thinking is, oh, this is what the problem with gentrifiers is, like white people move to a city and complain about crime. No, the district I was working on was a primarily Black district, like 80%. And no, I cannot speak for all of DC, but the group I am noticing this with is not a monolith. And when I noticed this, I even hit up some local politicians I know to make sure I wasn't tripping. I was like, wait, is it just me or does no one care? They're like, our constituents are happy. Mind you, like I was born and raised here. Like somebody was unalived on my front lawn when I was a child and now the house is worth $1.4 million. And these are people who are just like that. Like these are residents who are fucking tired. And don't mistake this video as me saying I'm for what he's doing. Again, everyone in my circle is extremely liberal. So a big thing I did on that political campaign was crime stats, and they were staggering, they were frightening. And I know MSNBC was fact checking Trump and they said that crime was down 30%. That is a little deceitful. It was down 30%. And they're only counting crime, and I've never seen anyone do that. Like that is deceitful. And this is not me saying like, oh, they are justified, but it's more so like the numbers are deceitful. Like I'm not scared of getting caught. I'm scared of them taking away my jacket. Like I have a Canada Goose from literally 2014 and my friend's like, nobody wants to steal your 2014 Canada Goose. I'm like, they will. But yeah, no. FBI data, which they're using, is broken down into property crime. And they're like assault, battery, robberies, and one more, or like, I don't even know if robberies are crime. They are only including homes. Nobody here is a skin shot. And the thing is, even if homicide, the fear of being like assaulted, robbed, carjacked is still in your mind daily when you go into DC, it doesn't matter. Like I know in the election, a big thing people were saying, like in the local election, like it doesn't matter if crime is down if people don't feel safe. And people don't feel safe in DC right now. And it's funny because the only people I actually have heard that they say that they feel safe is like white people who live in Navy Yard, which is like not a place you should feel safe. Fun fact, I had a friend get robbed twice in Navy Yard, on a Friday and then a Sunday. And when they robbed him on Sunday, they couldn't even take anything because he didn't have a phone or wallet yet. Another really interesting thing I've seen in like my sphere is that it's the Black people talking about crime, not white people. And I think white people kind of understand like, oh, like if we talk about this, like we're in a gentrified space, like, but it is the Black people talking about this, which is interesting because I think a lot of people from across the country wouldn't expect that. And when I mean talking about this, it's talking about how crime is out of control. The bottom line is people in DC do not feel safe. And anyone who tells you otherwise just isn't paying attention. Like any resident who's like, I feel safe, you shouldn't. And yes, even though crime is down, like this is another thing, like I've done a ton of data analysis, used to be a data analyst, went to MIT, like I'm good at math. Even if there's a drop in crime, if the crime was like out of control to begin with, like a drop doesn't really matter. Like you have to take it in context. Truly only my friends from other states who have been like outraged about it. People from DC have been silent, where they're just like, Or people are like, thank God. Again, this is not me justifying how it's being done, but I'm saying that people from DC like don't actually mind what's happening. And that's why they're not being that loud about it, because they're tired. I know a couple of years ago, a lot of my friends started saying like, I don't even drive into DC anymore. Like I don't want to because they're going to bust my windows, which is like very possible. Like every time I come back to my car, I'm like, phew. Now people are like, I don't want to drive to DC because I'm going to get carjacked. And then we realized they're carjacking the Ubers too. And if this actually blows up, I don't want to hear anyone being like, awful take. It's not a take. This is not me saying I agree with it. This is me saying what is happening. And you could be like, oh, well, my friends care. Okay.
You can't just bring out statistics and you put out there, oh, Hillary Clinton, be quoting it like when you look at this data, it shows that crime has reduced to all-time low, 50 years low. But the people living in these areas, they are the one facing it. They are the one experiencing it. They are the one seeing it. At a certain point, when I look at people like this going on the street, like, they feel different, seeing how things are. And then someone is sitting somewhere, they're just tweeting, saying, oh, Trump is crazy. Oh, Trump is a dictator. I saw all kind of tweet from Democrat lawmakers. I don't get the point. Then I begin to ask, like, is it a crime for you to make a city peaceful? You will not just see Trump get up one day and say, oh, I want to take over this city. If things are moving normal, if you don't get stories of this has happened, it will be very difficult to do that. Before you want to see the president taking that is because it is beyond control. So I don't get the point why Democrats don't like these ideas. This has always been the thing. And it's crazy to me.
We need all the protection that we can get in the city because the city is really getting dangerous. A person like me at this age, I have to make sure to come home before sundown.
Top of your head looking like a football helmet, okay? Take that shit off. Go put some water and some oil on top of that helmet that you call a wig, okay? Because it's stiff and dry.
Take a listen, Michael, to how the media is portraying the story. All right, we'll kick it off with...
Well, first of all, the homicide rate in Washington, D.C. is very high compared to other major cities and other world capitals. So
is running well, and people enjoy a great quality of life. And I think we're doing a really good job. We do need the federal government's help, as I mentioned, because they have an outsized influence on our criminal justice system. We need more prosecutors. We need more judges. There are other ways to help. Even we want to rebuild our jail, and there are ways that the feds can help with that. But also just doing their part, cutting the grass, fixing the fountains.
Understanding, and she is actually for the idea that this city should be clean.
We have home rule for a reason.
Because if it's safety and crime the president is worried about, Green has some thoughts to add to his agenda.
Or is he going to come pick up our trash next? Is that what I should expect? We do have areas with high grass that he can cut. I have infrastructure problems in my community. Can he put some funding on the table for that?
He shouldn't be making those kind of decisions. That's more like a dictator.
Gotti thinks that if this is the way the administration is going to continue...
Everybody now is in like a big old gumbo pot of, you know what I'm saying? You don't know what's in it. You know what I'm saying? That's all. You don't know what you're going to get served.
To have a real talk about Trump federalizing Washington, D.C. potentially tomorrow and what that could mean for the rest of the country. First of all, does anybody else find it really odd that he's willing to do this after a guy named Big Balls was assaulted on the street, but not when a mob was storming the U.S. Capitol building. By now, I'm sure we've all seen this post from Truth Social from earlier today, where he says he's going to hold a press conference tomorrow morning and potentially announce that he's sending the National Guard into D.C.
A lot of people become homeless because they're not going to have these services or anything anymore.
As of the short clips you see at the end of this, that is for the white algorithm.
Clear. Barack Obama is not the president of the United States.
I think the fact that Malia graduated from Harvard still lives rent-free in his head. And it's just the very swag that Obama has that he will never have. In fact, there is a viral clip going on right now. Check this out.
Touch them up and go. Oh, ching-ching-ching. Here comes the step up. I'm the lyrical young.
Oh, Obama has swag. Oh, you can't beat this. If you see short videos after this, that is for the white algorithm.
No matter how good the dad
is, he can't be everything.
He can't be everything. And that boy may need somebody to give the boy some perspective on the dad.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
One of the most valuable things I learned as a guy was I had a gay professor in college.
We are specific.
Driver's license.
Yeah, you got.
What a voice! I cried.
But any barriers, don't mind making this easy. People line up for my advice, and you're walking away like I'm stupid. It's like I line up.
It is to live in the White House.
Post this morning alleging that since I said I will prevail.
It also shouldn't be racial. 100
has been overwhelming. He lies and they're
not going to end.
He says, but what if he says self-defense?
There's no self-defense.
This is definitely a self-defense case because it...
Registration Act.
You will be very...
Once again, the field was littered with Wintour does.
And black people don't want to live around ratchet black.
How bad is his reputation going to be?
It's bad.
We need to connect the dots.
Going to carry a level of weight.
Position. And as always,